Duke Carolina round two this weekend. North Carolina on a six-game winning streak. RJ Davis senior night. We have a preview up of this game on the channel now. You can go watch Carter and I's full thoughts on this. But Hubert Davis, in meeting with the media before this game, spoke about what has changed for this team, and he talked about how there's just a joyful nature to the way they're hooping right now. This is the quote from Hubert. He said, "quote There's a new joy amongst this team. I've expressed it before. I feel like our guys are settled in regards to their role." And what they can do out there on the floor, and that gives them confidence. There's a new joy amongst this team, Dion. Do you think that the joy that North Carolina players are finally experiencing is going to factor into their chances against Duke this weekend?
Absolutely not. You know what's not fun, G? You know what brings no joy to anybody? A 3-on-1 fast break, and one of the three is Cooper Flag. I mean, there's no smiling that gets done in that situation. I'll tell you what, also, I'm not going to have a lot of joy. Oh, wow, pick and roll. I just got someone to switch on me. Cooper Flag. Like, okay. All the joy is gone. Like, they might go into the arena with a bunch of joy. Cooper Flag hits a step back three. Not a lot of joyous stuff that goes on with that. There's just not a lot of excitement that comes down when it's like you're standing across. Wow, that's Man, Coop, Khan, Isaiah Evans, the list goes on. Wow, I'm really having fun, Hubert. This is really joyous. So I'm sure they are playing. They clearly are having more fun. It's a lot of fun when you play Florida State. It's a ton of fun. It's a ton of fun to get games against Cal and Stanford. A lot less fun when you're trying to drive to the paint. Hoops guarding you and man's waiting for you. Not a lot of joy in that.
Yeah, okay. I can't believe joy is the angle we're hearing from Hubert. Like, hey Hubert, what's going well? What's your team better at now? And it's just like, oh, we're happier. Yeah, yes, happy as a result of winning. I was also loving your Cooper Flag reveals. I feel like you could do like four more of those. Like,
Oh, yeah.
you know what's not joyful? Going to bed at night and waking up at 3 a.m. because you see Cooper Flag in your dreams. This guy, Hubert, look, he has a sneaky extension that he signed, whatever. I do think North Carolina's playing better, and I
Mhm.
talked about this on the preview. Like they are the 16th best team in the country in the six-game win streak per Torvik. And look, I think ACC teams can rack up wins against bad teams, obviously. It helps that you're playing Syracuse, NC State, Virginia, Florida State, Miami, Virginia Tech, but you still have to go out and beat them and create separation. And they went on the road and just beat Virginia Tech by 32 points. That's not easy for anybody to do unless you really are one of the best teams in the country. And I'm not saying North Carolina's there yet, but they did it for one night. And that's not something we've seen this season. But I just would have loved, like, I don't know, maybe speak to some actual, like, uh, technical reasons why is this team playing better versus just like, oh, there's happiness in our eyes, there's joy in our hearts. Like, dog, I don't think there's gonna be much joy against Duke. If that's what has made this season's turnaround special, just vibes and happiness, like, you've got some scary things coming this weekend.
Isn't it his job to bring those vibes? Like, what don't you think if you told anybody within North Carolina you're returning RJ, Seth Elliott, and then you're bringing in two potential lottery picks, there's a lot of joy within that. How did you ruin that so quickly, Hubert? Maybe it's because you forgot the power forward and center positions exist for 5 months during the transfer portal. Like maybe there was no joy because you were like Van El and Lubin, you're starting at center. Maybe there was no joy because you're like, yo, Elliot, I don't care if they're guarding you like you're a 7 year old. You're going to be out there and please launch up a bunch of threes. Like, there's a lot of reasons this team lacked joy. A lot of them are Hubert Davis. On Saturday, Hubert might not be the reason they lack joy, but Cooper Flag sure as hell will be.
Yeah. 0-8. Dion, does an 0-8 record against top 25 opponents this season bring joy?
No, no, no. But Virginia Tech apparently does. Like getting
I mean, maybe one win against Duke, that would certainly be joyous. I'm not denying that. But
I
the
mean,
issue is that a win against Duke on senior night would be something we haven't seen from this team all season. Likely because they're incapable caliber wise of beating a team that good. So I'm glad they're enjoying their last 3 week stretch, but that 3 week stretch comes to an end when you try and play in the NCAA tournament. That stretch comes to an end in postseason play against good teams.
I mean, a win against Duke does bring you a lot of things. It's pretty much given Hubert a decade-long career at North Carolina, bare minimum, just because he won the one game against Duke in the Final Four. So, I mean, special victory. Don't get me wrong, but like, I guess you can create a ton of joy out of beating Duke. This ain't your father's North Carolina, and this definitely ain't year one Shire's Duke. These are two much different teams. They're going to get steamrolled tomorrow. And maybe they have a smile on their face while they do it. Congrats. Glad you had fun. This ain't rec league anymore. You got to win games.
Yeah. You were not on the preview. Cart and I were. We gave our prediction at the end of that video. Do you have a prediction for Duke, North Carolina this weekend?
Um, yeah, long standing prediction here. Duke wins by 30. Cam and Caden and Carlos front row. Hoop announces he's going to the NBA. Shire tells Jay Lucas, "Have fun in Miami, big dog. I got your whole roster sitting in the front row."
That would be sensational, and I actually could see that coming to fruition.